I am happy because there is some assembly required. Since Nina has now started school, we need a place for her to put her books and her randoset when she comes home. Right, Q? Yes, Q. So what we did, we bought her this 3-level shelf. Really cheap, you can find them anywhere in Japan, and for some reason I have not yet been able to figure out, they call them color boxes. Very basic shelf, costs about 1,000 yen, and you get this, it's about that tall. What is that? 88 centimeters high, 44 centimeters wide, and 29 centimeters deep. And this is the standard configuration. It comes with no variations. Variations cost more, or they just require a few basic tools. Because the kids' books just do not fit in the shelf properly, I took a color box and just drilled a couple extra holes, changed where the two shelves go, cut the back pieces, and just fit them in. Works just fine. So for the boys, we had them put their cells here in a standard one and their books here in a non-standard one, and that worked okay. But now we've got 3 kids going to elementary school, so we kind of need 3 of these. We bought another one. I'm going to alter that one to be exactly like this one, and then I'm going to take this one and do the same thing. So we'll have 3 of them, so we can have like Duncan, Kai, and this will go somewhere, and we'll put Nina's in there, and we'll have, books on the top, a cell on the bottom, and I get to do this. It's fun. I get to cut and drill and assemble and make a time-lapse video of it. But I've only got the video going and I forgot to get the saw. I'll have to go grab that. Yeah, like now. Okay, got my saw. It operates this way, not that way. Saw blade, necessary. Drill bits, just drop them. And my drill, nice to charge. Other one's charging now. That's over there. And so I guess I'm ready to go. Am I forgetting anything? Tape measure. Actually, no, my timing just now was perfect. It was raining. I went and fed the chickens, came inside, boom, started raining. Had to get my saw, it stopped raining. I usually don't get timing that good. Now I gotta remember where I put my tape measure. Done measuring for the holes on one board, and I came up with this way to do it last time to make sure you get the holes in the right place on both boards. Take the screws that are meant for the final assembly, throw a couple through 2 holes, which you're not going to be using later anyway, and then drill your holes through both boards at once. Works out quite nice. It's even better if you have a drill press, which I do not have. Just this, and whatever size bit I need. Gotta figure that out. 4.8 millimeters apparently. One thing I almost forgot, well, not really, but just didn't get to yet, was there's a little bit of countersinking on the original holes, and I've got to make that on my holes, otherwise the screw heads will be sticking out. I did that last time. I just don't remember what size bit it was. I have to figure that out. 1 centimeter. I cannot get this thing to stay centered. It keeps jumping around because of these points on it, so I'm going to try an 8 millimeter. And it looks like it should work. It should fit in better because it's sloped down instead of pointed up. But you gotta be careful. If you gotta be just the lightest of touch, or it grabs in there and wants to just tear right through it. Because this is pasteboard. Pasteboard? What do you call it? It's basically sawdust held together by glue with a veneer stuck on. That's why it's so cheap. Now I just have to cut one back panel to fit inside the larger gap, and then I'm ready to assemble. I just gotta figure out how much to make the back panels. It's not a bad sound. I just gotta figure out how much to cut each back panel by. I don't remember how much. I just gotta get out the tape measure again. And I'm really gonna need to vacuum when I'm done here. Oh yeah. Now that I've measured it, the numbers actually come back to me. 8 centimeters, 8 centimeters, and 12.2. I've extended each box by 8 centimeters, leaving only 12.2, well actually less, it's more like 11.6 for the bottom, but there is a 3 millimeter gap, 3 millimeter, not a gap, a indentation where these are inserted into the back boards, the surrounding boards. After I cut this, these small pieces will go above the intact pieces and probably put a piece of tape across the back, like duct tape if I had it, but the cheap shit version. Now it's really just final assembly. That's kind of my favorite time. Well, all of it is, actually. But final assembly, you actually get to see it become. That's cool. I really finished just in time. I got a dentist appointment in 15 minutes. Now, let's slide this sucker into place and see. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Lines up, wrong side. Lines up perfectly with the old shelves I made. I didn't get the one hole quite straight, but it wasn't a problem. It just kind of self-corrected. So if you put this together, if you do something like this, secure the top and the bottom very well first and put these two in loosely until you got everything together. I think it went in quite nicely. I will put a piece of tape across the back later. That was totally successful. I love that. I will do this one more time. I'm gonna convert this one too. There you go. That is how to customize one of these color box shelves. It is really easy. Just make sure you're careful on your measurements, get everything right, double check, triple check if you have to, and try and get your holes as straight as possible. I got one little off, but it was still within tolerances. If you get it too far wonky, it's really gonna screw things up. I was afraid it was gonna stick a screw out through one of the shelves, but everything's good, so that works. You can get even more creative if you want. Just be careful with your measurements and your holes. The only other step would be, where is it, putting these stickers over the holes, and I don't care, I never use them, I don't like them. Well, the other step is cleaning up, but I gotta go to the dentist, so I'll do that later. I wanna watch that time lapse one more time without interruption.
A little while later.
And now, the last one is finished too. But remember what I said about double checking all your measurements? Yeah, really double check all your measurements. On the paper, I saw 74.5 centimeters. On the tape measure, I saw 74.5 centimeters. I thought I'd draw 74.5 centimeters, drew 74.5 centimeters, but somehow I managed to draw it to 64.5 centimeters, and so now I have an extra hole that I really don't need. Of course, don't need that one either, that's an original hole, but that's the hole I made and didn't need to make. Had to make it down here. Also, it seems when I cut a little bit off, and the tolerance was pretty tight here. It is really squeezed to get that piece in, to the point where this was a little bit off, and there's a small split when the screw didn't want to go in quite right, but it's on the bottom so you can't see it. Not a big deal. Probably gonna put tape across here and on the other one too, just to hold it in a little bit better, but that was fun. I have an interesting definition of fun. So yeah, if you modify one of these color boxes, send me a picture. I'd love to see what you do with them. I mean, there's way more creative things you can do than just moving the shelves around. Put them together, stack them, just secure them well, and then figure a way to screw them to the wall if you're gonna make them tall. The short ones are fine, but tall ones won't hold up so well against earthquakes.